is healing in so many ways. It heals one's body, it heals one's spirit, it also strengthens one's cultural identity, but most importantly, it brings people together. I'm a professor at Simon Fraser University with the School of Resource and Environmental Management, and I'm also the research director at the Food Systems Lab on Burnaby Mountain, British Columbia. I'm on a journey to identify the healing power of food. And the reason why this journey matters so much to me is because I'm a professor, I'm an educator, and I teach about food systems for my students. And so when I think about the healing power of food, I think about how our food systems have a lot of potential, but this potential is not really met at the moment. We have a food crisis. We think about all of, on one side, all of the people that are hungry and food insecure. And at the same time, in this current industrial food system, we have a lot of food waste. We also have a food system that extracts a lot of natural resources and is bad for biodiversity, is bad for the water, is bad for the natural environment. And so when I think about the potential of finding the true power of food and how it can heal not just body, but also spirit and also the planet, I think that is a journey that is definitely worthwhile to go on. Going to the Harmony Garden is so important to me because I have heard the most amazing stories about how this garden helped transform people's life.
Our elders and myself and younger people, we wanted to see a place that we could just go and not be told we can't have the food. And that's in our history, residential schools, they forced children to garden, but they never fed them the food. That food was always for the priests, the nuns, and often the RCMP who would come and go. So food had a bad relationship, growing food had a bad relationship for quite a few decades, and we're reversing that and turning it into something more positive, where there's accessible free food, there's traditional indigenous foods that they might only find in the mountains or in wild spaces. There's language that connects them to who they are and why that food is important to them. And there's just that safety net. Does it taste like nature candy?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, hey?
I was bullied a lot for my weight. Bullying by classmates, bullying by teachers, being told to weigh yourself in front of the classroom and kind of being looked at because you had the highest BMI in the classroom. I mean, all of these things had an impact on me. And everything that I was seeing in magazines and on TV showed a particular ideal of beauty, and I did not fit into any sort of the ideal beauty standards that society, was promoting. And so I had an eating disorder. Food was basically something to be feared. And I think that it was a time of such mental anguish and hardship for me. And I managed to come out of it through a lot of healing. And that healing was not something that's just physical, but I actually had to heal my worldview. I had to become friends again with food. And Islam helped me become connected again to food, because when I started choosing to wear the hijab, I realized that it's not just about the shell. It's really about me. It's really about my heart and what I can offer the world. As a professor at Simon Fraser University, I conduct a lot of research on food systems. And one of the most inspiring experiences is when I learn about the Sikh culture of providing free food with no stigma through their community kitchen langar program. And so working with Sikh community members, actually I learned about the beautiful teachings where you share food, there is no stigma, you eat together regardless of your race and your religion. And it's like food becomes this great avenue to bring people together and highlight equality, the importance of food and equity.
Thank you.
I love the work of the Hua Foundation. I can completely relate to many of their initiatives, many of their concerns. A lot of youth are disconnected from their culture, but the Hua Foundation creates a home for many of these youth to basically reconnect through food and basically strengthen their identity. Giant pierogies.
Yeah, we made some big pierogies. So I guess we just have like a lot of love.
One more in here. I've known Dr. Lauren Kepkwich since 2012 when we were both starting our PhD at the University of Toronto. When I think about food as medicine, I think of her work with the Bow Valley Food Alliance and how it's bringing people together and solving a lot of food-related issues in Alberta.
The Bow Valley Food Alliance has been really lucky to work with many amazing groups here in the Bow Valley. And one of those groups is the Filipino organization in the Rocky Mountains. The Filipino organization in the Rocky Mountains works a lot with temporary foreign workers, and they also do this in multiple ways. And one of the ways is by providing culturally appropriate food hampers and delivering them to the homes of folks in our community.
Have a great day. Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
I think what's important about this journey is that although there are stereotypes about the Muslim community, the Filipino community, the Punjabi Sikh community, the indigenous communities, what all of these different leaders have shown is that there's a new way of seeing people through food by showing how all of these different leaders have a lot to offer in terms of expertise, in terms of teachings that show that we can all coexist peacefully and bring people together through food.